Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a really nice Thanksgiving if you celebrated it. And I did, oddly enough. And what's odd about it is, aside from time spent with my children, family, that type of thing, moments that might have been okay, I have never until this Thanksgiving had a totally peaceful Thanksgiving. Isn't that odd? And this 61 years of no peace on Thanksgiving Day. First time ever. So that was, I was thankful. So, um, to the people that wished me happy Thanksgiving, thank you. And it was. So, yeah, like I say, that was a first for me. I don't know what I'm talking about today in particular, but just saying hello and speaking what's on my mind, like usual. I think some people get lonely this time of year because, if you don't have close family or friends, or even if you do, sometimes it's kind of a nostalgic time of year too for everybody. So it can be difficult, but in that respect, especially if somebody's alone, because I know for sure at least one of my subs is, and so I don't want anybody to feel like that. And you are my friends, and I love you. So hi. So anyway, that's why I'm on here. I've been doing a lot of thinking lately as far as the white papers I read in the lodge and whatnot. And, with all the child rape that's going on nowadays, well, and it always has. Um, and I would inspire people to think maybe Eve was young and got raped, and the third of an angel that fell was Satan himself, having to walk like man, and he was cast down from heaven. Um, he's going to rise because he's learned. But and then people say that he's going to come down. When he comes down, he's already here. He was cast down. So when they say things like that, it automatically, especially if I know that they're affiliated with the Illuminati, the bad ones, then my ears perk up like, hey, you're spreading some more of your nonsense. Because really, do we really? I do not. And I know I read this and it makes perfect sense to me. I do not believe that Adam or Eve did anything wrong. I don't believe our forefathers did a single thing wrong. And I'm not as perfect as Eve was, and there's no man that can turn my head. So when they try and put the shame on a woman, and men and women go along with that, that's just because they don't want to look deep enough into their own sins and realize that, hey, it was Satan. He's in there. He's telling us crap, and it is crap. So, yeah, that's been on my mind lately. And I've been saying, like, I hate people. I love them at the same time, too. But my hatred isn't ferocious. It's not vicious. It's not, um, I'm talking about people that would take a newborn baby and have sex with it. I hate that person. I love the person on their good behavior, but that's crossing the line. That's the hate line right there. So that's what I mean when I say hate. I'm not talking about anybody in the world. I'm talking about people that would do harm to other people. That's what I talk about when I speak of hate. And it took me a long time. I was thinking, no, I don't hate anybody. Well, I pray for them, but the hatred's still there. It's not, no, I don't hate a word. I don't hate the word hate, you know. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, hate the sin and not the person. No, the person is the sin until they repent. And when justice is done, when they repent, and if they don't repent, then they deserve to be incarcerated. And until they straighten up, my hate won't go away. Like I say, it's not a seething anger, wanting them dead type of hatred. It's like, no, you're disgusting, you're filthy, I hate you for that. Not you, these people. If you could manipulate any little child or anybody into doing something, or or just outright rape somebody or kill somebody or anything like that, I have hatred towards a person like that. That's what I mean when I say it. I'm not saying like a vicious murderer getting up there, I'll hate you, I'll effing kill. No, no, it's not like that. So hate has, and if you look it up, hate is a deep word. And there's 50 things, a list of 50 things that Jesus hated and God hates. So, and that is the person that's doing the stuff, not the word, not, oh, I hate the sin and not you. No, he's hating on him. You don't punish what you don't hate, you know? So, like I say, people have taken this word and they've made it so, oh, we can't even say it anymore. I can't say, oh, I hate you because you just raped my child. No, I can't say that, right? Yeah. What I hated when it happened to me is that they wouldn't go to counseling with me when I offered that, you know? So, anyway, that's another story. Just talking about it, because it happens all the time. It happens every day. So, yeah, I'm going to go into this and a lot of people may not want to hear it because I don't drink much. I haven't drank for a very long time. And when I did, I wasn't crazy about it anyway. It's called self control. Um, I could have easily made myself an alcoholic. I could see how that could happen. But, even one drink, you are not the person you were before that one drink, and Satan will use it. That's why they call it spirits in liquor. Liquor translates into demon possession, but I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, or you'll ignore it and you'll think, well, what, wine or beer? No, alcohol is definitely Satan's biggest tool in this world. And you may not think that it affects you, but it does. Just like I like smoking herb and cigarettes, but I like smoking. But I wanted to come on here and talk to you from my heart. So I fasted and I didn't smoke, you know? So, well, I think it's important that people are aware of speaking when they're speaking and what might hinder somebody from understanding something. Well, I have my opinions, you know. And you know what? If I know somebody, I can tell if they've had one drink um, by looking at them and listening to them. Even the next day, it's like, oh, okay. you know, I might be blinking a lot. I think I have a cat hair in my eye and I rinsed it out. But speaking of cats, I've been putting iodine on my kitties. It might be a tumor. I'm trying to make a decision whether to take her in. She's 21. And even an operation at her age can be really dangerous. So if you feel so inclined to pray for Bathsheba, my cat, that she will regain her health, I would appreciate it if you could ask God for Barb's cat, because she is the best cat. She really is so faithful. Um, yeah, she really is. She won't even let Doug pet her unless I give my A-OK. She doesn't want to. She just, I'll tell her to go let Doug pet you. And she'll even kind of complain about it. She's gotten better. I mean, she loves him, but she's really my girl that much, you know. So she's not one of them that'll just jump in your lap or nothing like that. She's kind of refined, dignified, if you can imagine. So, yeah, she deserves a peaceful life, what she's got. So, anyway, so that's been kind of time consuming. I think it was Saturday it started raining here. Friday we had a little bit, and then it sort of snowed. And Saturday it was rain snow mix, and then it started snowing, and it didn't quit until the end of Sunday night. We ended up with over 18 inches, maybe closer to 2 feet. I know north of me, Duluth up on Lake Superior, the North Shore, they got 2 feet of snow and all their schools were closed. And there's the White Mountains there that are right next to the Great Lake. And showed a kid or a guy going down, well, it's 7 and 2nd Street um, on his snowboard. Really long run too um, down to the lake. Well, it won't it runs into the highways and stuff, bridges and whatnot, and crossroads. And but yeah, I was skiing down the roads, snowboarding down the roads. So yeah, so we were busy shoveling out for. Well, we're still. Doug was still out there today shoveling, and he shoveled the first batch off the porch. I got the second batch and then got around my bird feeder and the wood pile and a path for my dog. And it was so funny, even shoveling a path and then it snowed some more. She was up to her neck trying to go potty one night. It was poor little thing. So, yeah. But she's funny. She'll stick her nose in the snow when she's going potty. I don't know why, but maybe so she doesn't smell it. That makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense, come to think of it. So, anyway, so the birds and the squirrels and the rabbits, they've all been really happy. I put some dried cranberries out for them along with their corn and some bread. And it was funny, one of my squirrels, I have a black rubber man on top of a rock pile that I have, like a rock garden. And I put the mat over it for wintertime underneath the bird feeder so it would catch some of the corn if it fell. And then I put piles of corn there. Well, I put some bread out there for them too. And one of the squirrels tried it. Well, they have holes burrowed in the snow going underneath that black mat, and one of them tried to pull a piece of bread into that hole. Doug goes, I think they want you to break it up for them, you know. Well, and I was telling him, I wrote because I had seen a friend of mine post a long time ago. It was his saying, and I kidnapped it. Was if you want me to shut up, raise your hand. Now slap yourself. And Doug says, tell him to come over here. I'll break their arm off and beat them to death with it. Well, he don't mean it, but well, maybe he does. I don't know. No, I don't. I would hope not. But yeah, so he's far worse. He is. He's freaking mean. I mean, not with me. So His mouth gets mean. Very. But anyway, this is not what I signed up for. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of. So, well, anyways, that's kind of my take on what's been going on and stuff is we've been lied to so much. I mean, when they burnt the Alexandria Library, they didn't really burn all the books. The Vatican has some, and there's some other hidden ones that the Masons have and whatnot. The truth about our history is really what I'm all about out here is trying to see who's got pieces of it and what they're going to say or how they're going to twist it and try and perpetuate stuff for Satan or their own means, which in turn still helps Satan out. And it doesn't help any of us to believe that our forefathers were trashy. Wouldn't you agree? You know, I'd rather believe that my first mother and father on this earth were not stupid scumbags. You know, it's just like, why would God put them here with no clothes like they depict them? You know, it's like, if he can invent a human being, don't you think he had computers? Don't you think he had a way to make clothing? And I mean, he can make a tree for God's sake. Can he make a pair of pants? Yeah, you know, I make a raindrop, but I can't make a shirt. You know, so yeah. So a lot of what we've been taught is total lies. Just looking at everything logically, you know, there's no way any man can turn my head sexually. Nobody. So how could they do that to Eve and she was more pure than me, you know? So if you really look at it like that, it says a lot, you know, thinking on it logically. Then they say that women are the weaker gender. Not in that respect. From what I've seen, there's a lot of women that get led wrong by their men and then they do something stupid because their men do. I'm not one of them, you know. And I don't believe Eve was either, you know. And I'm not saying Doug's cheated on me. I don't believe he has or would, you know. But that's another situation. I mean, I have been cheated on, but not by him. So, yeah. The father of my children was a wild thing. So, anyway, and that's how, you know, that's when I say I do hate him, you know, and I have reason to, believe me. But I also pray for him and I don't wish him any harm. I just wish justice to be done, you know, that type of thing. So, and I've forgiven him for things he's done to me. I've forgiven him for things he did in my children. That he's not so lucky with that. That's not going away. So, and I'm sticking to it. You know, there's a lot of people might say they can forgive, but when a man rapes his own child, you don't you don't overlook it and you don't forgive it. You know, for your child. Like I said, what he did to me, I'll forgive, and he did a lot more than most. But what he did to my children, unforgivable. So now repenting and me knowing that he did would be justice to me and for my children, then I could forgive. See what I mean? That's where I'm at with the hatred thing. So anyhow, Oh, I'll tell you what I made for Thanksgiving. I made turkey breasts, and it was already in a bag, all ready to cook, which was so awesome. And I took in candied yams with brown sugar, and I don't usually, and butter, and I don't usually put marshmallows on there, and I don't usually put brown sugar either. If I, but I was making them for Doug, and canned cranberries, and I made stuffing, and let's see, stuffing, sweet potatoes, turkey, gravy, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie with whipped cream for dessert. And it was really good. And the next day I had a turkey sandwich. And the day after we finished up the turkey, because it was just kind of a small thing in a bag, which was really nice. So, like I say, I didn't have to clean it up. And, but I, the dishes after, I had to clean them up. And then when we were through with it, having to do all those dishes was a nightmare. I had a whole sink full for a day because I get tired. I do. I do have more gallons, and I'm strong. Like when I first wake up in the morning, I got to get my stuff done. Then I got to rest. But when I'm strong, I'm strong, and when I'm tired, I'm tired. It works like that. Even getting older, it works like that. But I can't stand taking naps. So I'll keep busy and do other things through the day, and um, you know, so never could stand naps. I want to live, you know. So I don't want to be asleep a third of my life, I feel like I'm betraying myself even when I sleep. It's just weird. It doesn't seem right to me. Diseases don't seem right. There's a lot of things in this world that just, I feel like an alien, you know. I always have. I'll see people taking naps and doing things that I don't do, and I think, well, I know everybody's different, but I just never really. I mean, yes, if you're tired, sleep, but how can people, and there's certain people I've known in my life that they sleep all night and they barely work. I'm not saying, okay, they don't like extend themselves really hard every day. They'll take whole days, a lot of whole days, and do nothing. When they do work hard, they think they've just whipped out a whole house by themselves, built the whole damn thing in one day. That's how they act, and then they sleep. It's like, wow, sleep the whole next day and the whole next night, or you know what I mean? Um, just weird. Like go out for a walk and come home and fall asleep in the chair or something. It's that's how my adopted mother was. She would do something and then sit down in a chair and just fall asleep like in the chair like that. Oh, I don't know. Like I say, and I have done that. That's really rare, but not on a daily basis like a lot of people do. I don't know. It just, like I say, it's weird to me. I don't know. If I'm offending you, I'm sorry. Go take a nap. Maybe you'll feel better. What can I say? You know. And if you've been working hard and don't get much sleep, you probably do need a nap. So I'm not out to offend nobody, I just don't understand. Okay. Anyway, um, my adopted parents used to make me just sit in my room on my bed as long as I just sat there and I was quiet and I was pretending I was taking a nap. They were good with that. Because back in my days, children were expected to take naps. And even like in kindergarten, um, or kindergarten, um, we had these mats and we'd all lay on the floor like a bunch of little animals taking naps together. It was the weirdest thing, you know. I thought it was the weirdest thing. I don't know. Strange. You know. I think they were just babysitting us basically, you know. Well, that's probably about all that's on my mind right now. Um, Not sure how I'll title this. Sometimes it's hard to know, but I think I'm going to address it like this because it is true. A third of the angels fell. If you want to know that there were three people and one of them did wrong and the two other ones didn't. So I'll name it a third of the angels fell. Yeah. Anyway.